The Blood Angels are no strangers to battling demons, and Steve is no stranger to battling Ian. Their rivalry extends almost as long as Cabanda and Sanguinius, and today they face off in another battle for the record books. It's Demons versus Blood Angels in this 40K in 40 minutes. Greetings 40K fans, JT the Voice here, welcoming you to what has the potential to be a real classic matchup. Ian is an old-school hobbyist and demon player from way back, the days of metal and small bases and VHS tapes as buildings. He's also the man behind Hyperspace Hobbies on YouTube, so make sure to go check them out. In fact, check out his amazing Bebop Greater Unclean One.
I'm playing Demons today, a 1,500 point list. Kind of a mix of all the demons. Couldn't quite fit all of the things I wanted to because it's only 1,500 points, but I still got some big bad monsters. I'm ready to tear it up on the battlefield.
Ian's list consists of a Fluxmaster, Bebop the Great Unclean One, a Lord of Change, a Poxbringer, and a Skullmaster. He's got a squad of Nurglings, some Pink Horrors, and some Plague Bearers, a Beast of Nurgle, Blood Crushers, Flamers, and Plague Drones.
I like Demons because there's a lot of tactical flexibility in what you can do with this army. They're really low on the shooting and the firepower, but man, do they ever hit hard in combat. A couple tricks to go up and down, you can own the battlefield. It's total battlefield presence.
Space Marine Steve needs no introduction, and today he's bringing the Sons of Sanguinius to try to achieve some vengeance for Baal.
Hey everybody, this is Space Marine Steve from Play on Tabletop. I'm so excited to be back in the studio today. I have got my good friend Ian from Hyperspace Hobbies, and he's coming in here. We're having a little bit of like a rematch from one of our narrative campaigns that you can check out in our memberships, and it is Angels and Demons. I get to play my Blood Angels today against his Chaos Demons, and it is gonna be an absolutely awesome time. I am so excited.
Steve has brought Astorath, a Librarian in Terminator armor with the Archangel Shard, and the Sanguinor. He's got a tactical squad, combat squatting inside a Rhino, a big ol' squad of Death Company Marines with jump packs, a Land Raider Redeemer, a Predator Destructor, some Terminators, and a Vanguard Veteran squad with jump packs. This is gonna be a real interesting mid-board matchup.
I've had some luck with my Blood Angels recently, and I'm really excited to get them back onto the tabletop here in the studio and get them like sawing and stabbing and poking and charging and yelling. Oh, so much yelling.
Today's board is a sweeping engagement, long home edge and sharp angle deployment. We're gonna be playing take and hold, so each objective is worth 5 points to a max of 15 per turn, and special mission rule is sweep and clear, or sticky objectives. As long as a player controls an objective at the start of their command phase, they will continue to hold it until their opponent controls it at the end of any phase.
I'm nervous about two things in Steve's army. The first one is the Sanguinor, which can really just appear anywhere, and it's very good at countering close combat as it does have first strike, and it just pops up in combat at any moment. And I really rely on combat, so that's my number one concern. The other concern is the Death Company. That's a large blob of Death Company. They have really good weapons, and they have a chaplain in the unit. And not just any chaplain, Astorath, the Grim.
I am nervous because he's got some really tough greater demons. The Great Unclean One in particular, it's a beautiful model. He actually sculpted it himself. And it makes me nervous because it is so tough. I'm hopeful that I can get a really good charge off onto it with like maybe some great characters, my Death Company in particular, and then I can put the hurt on this thing. Welcome, Ian, to the Play on Tabletop studio. Welcome back, my man.
Back again.
Back again. I am so excited for this little like rematch we're going for here. It's gonna be good.
Ian has put his Flamers and Blood Crushers with Skullmaster into reserve. The Fluxmaster is joining the Pink Horrors, and the Poxbringer joins the Plague Bearers. Steve's got Astorath with the Death Company and the Librarian with the Terminators. They're in Deep Strike. He's got the Vanguard Vets in the Land Raider, Tactical Squad, Combat Squadron making 2 units of 5. One gets all the weapons and the other gets the close combat. And the Sanguinor also in Deep Strike. Both players will be playing tactical objectives today. This episode is brought to you by Baron of Dice. Baron of Dice is your go-to source for resin dice. That's right, hand-swirled resin and silicone molds provide a heavier, more balanced, and most importantly, bubble-free die that is then precision machined and laser engraved. They offer square corners, round corners, matte finish, 6-sided or polyhedral sets, and of course, custom dice for your gaming needs. Make sure to check out Baron of Dice and use code PLAYON to save yourself $250 off any order. We absolutely love Baron of Dice dice. In fact, our Play On Orange and Gray are made by the Baron. Now, back to the action.
Start off by going attacker defender. Let's see what's up. I got a 1.
I got a 5. I think I'll be defender.
Drop the first unit, my man.
I'm gonna put my plague drones on the front line here. I've got some fast movers, so I plan on putting them close to the objectives to try to hit the objectives early.
I'm gonna take my Rhinoceros, and the Rhinoceros is gonna right back here.
I'm going to infiltrate my Nurglings back here.
Yeah, sure. The Land Raider goes down, and some Vanguard veterans are inside of it. I've hidden some stuff just to make sure I don't get shot by anything dumb.
I'm gonna place my Fluxmaster and 10 pink horrors on my home objective.
I'm gonna put down a squad of Death Company.
I'm gonna place the Lord of Change dead center.
I just have to avoid the Lord of Change, and other than that, whatever. This is gonna be sick. Everything's on the line. Don't even need it. It's gonna be great.
I am going to place my Beast of Nurgle right here. Plague Bearers and their Herald right next to the Beast of Nurgle. I think I'm gonna put him back here, but I know that he's able to go up and down, so it's not that big of a deal. I really need to go second because the way my stratagems are worded, it gives me a big advantage at the end of Steve's turn to lift guys up off the table in turn 1, and then they can come down in my movement phase.
I think I want you to go first.
I want you to go first.
I know, I want you to go first. No, I want you to go first.
No, I want you. Okay,
No, I
let's
want
just roll.
you to go.
Let's just roll.
It's you.
You get your wish.
You get to go first.
I get to go first.
Have yourself a good game, my man.
So,
Got our CP.
I got first turn, we got our CP.
He's drawn Engage on all fronts and Deploy Teleport Homers.
Both of those are doable. Okay, I'm gonna start by advancing the Plague Drones.
Here we go.
They advance a 1. I'm gonna try to be defensive at the start of the game. I know Steve's gonna push forward with all these fast moving things, and the Land Raider is gonna be a big Overwatch no-no. I'm gonna have to be really careful in the early turns.
Moving forward a bit, spreading the sickness, not too far forward, but just enough.
I'm so happy that Ian had to go first because now he has to get aggressive. He's got to come out of his deployment zone to try and get onto those objectives, and that gives me the time I need to pounce.
I am going to advance the Plague Bearers. Just a big turn of advancing. Just gonna shuffle back a touch, because they are OC0 and can't actually hold that anyways. I'm gonna go into the shooting phase.
Sounds good.
And I'm gonna declare my first shooter, the Lord of Change, on your Land Raider.
Steve is using smoke launchers and Land Raider for a command point. That is certainly helping him out.
2-up save down to 4, but I do have cover, so on 3s.
Oh, the Land Raider only takes 2 wounds. Hazardous check on the Lord of Change is okay.
14 wounds remaining on the Land Raider.
So I've essentially just moved up the table, gained a little bit of ground, not too much. I don't want to expose too much of my army quite yet.
Totally.
That's what I call a fast first turn. 3 points on Engage on all fronts. Discarding Deploy Teleport Homers for a command point, Ian is sitting at 3 points to Steve's 0.
So then into my turn, we each gain a CP, so you go up to 3 and I go up to 1, and then I've got to draw some cards.
Not the greatest secondary draw, Engage on all fronts and cleanse.
So I have Oath of Moment, the Plague Drones, and I really need to get rid of some of Ian's speed here. His list is actually fairly quick. He's got a lot of stuff with wings, some quick moving units, and like if he spikes a bunch of his invul saves, I could get like tripped up in weird places, and that's one of those things about playing demons. It's tough.
Looks like Steve has definitely chosen which 2 of the 3 objectives to hold here. He needs to make sure that the demons don't control more objectives in No Man's Land, or that puts it into the shadow of chaos, giving Ian big bonuses and Steve some serious penalties, especially should he fail Battle Shock.
Just gonna start with the Land Raider. Raider is going to spend 1 command point and grenades.
What? Grenades for the Land Raider?
You gotta read the keywords real close because the Land Raider has a grenades keyword. You can say it again. Land Raider's got a grenades keyword.
Steve's out of command points, but that's really cool.
So on 4s, you're taking 4 mortal wounds.
Okay.
And then the twin assault cannon on 3s, re-rolling. Oh, the moment. On 5s, re-rolling. 3.
And is that
and a
devastating?
dev.
2 5-ups. Both go through, and then 1 devastating. So 1 guy takes the last wound. 3 wounds remaining.
Multi-melta time. On 3s, re-rolling. 2 of them hit. And these are on 3s, because I'm strength 9.
Here's where the 5-6 invuln save comes into play. No.
D6, so you take 7.
Another guy down.
And then 2d6 plus 6. 16 hits.
That's a lot of fire.
That's a lot of oomph. I love it. 5s now though, and I don't get any rerolls.
But the
here.
volume, Steve.
The volume. Oh, it's not great.
4-2s on my 5-up. Invuln save. That's the unit.
That's the unit.
The Predator is choosing to cleanse that objective instead of shooting. Interesting choice. I think it's a good one because its guns aren't going to do a lot into a Lord of Change, and points are points. End of that battle round, Ian spends a command point on Realm of Chaos. The Great Unclean One will get Deep Strike back in his next reinforcement phase. Nice.
I don't feel awesome that the Predator had to cleanse that objective, but you know what? I need the points, and I want to make sure I stay even with Ian. I really don't think the damage it could have done to something across the table would offset 3 points on the final score.
Tie game, folks, 3-3, but turn 2 is where the Warp Flame hits the Ceramite. This next round promises to be a real Donnybrook.
I've got to be pretty careful here because you are set to pounce.
Set to pounce.
Turn 2 is going to be a very big turn for me. I have drawn behind enemy lines, which is really easy for demons to do, as I have a lot of deep strikers and deep strike shenanigans. Sadly, I also got area denial, and the center of the battlefield is not a place I really want to be right now.
2 objectives are stickied by Ian, so he's going to hold those until Steve comes takes them. Ticks him up to 13 points overall.
Let's start off by moving the Lord of Change.
Here he comes, that Lord of Change rushing the Predator.
The Nurglings, the little mischief makers, are just going to shuffle up a little bit. I think I'm going to move those Plague Bears as well. The Beast of Nurgle is also going to advance. A 4.
The Beast of Nurgle roly-polies his way forward as well. He's so cute. I just want to hug him if he wouldn't eat my face off. Pig Horse stay put, acting as a bit of a deterrent on his home objective. Not a bad idea. Incoming Deep Strikers now. Flamers are into Steve's home zone. They can do some serious work. Steve might be in a bit of trouble here.
I kind of have to just drop in the Deep Strikers right now. Kind of pushed into a corner already. I'm hoping that I can sustain through the game and chip away at some of his big blocked units.
Ian spending a command point here on Denizens of the Warp. The Great Unclean One is right in front of the Land Raider, and Steve chooses not to overwatch. Interesting. Ian's down to 2 command points.
Ooh, so we're
tied up.
tied up.
We'll start with my shooting phase. And I'm going to have the Lord of Change shoot
The Pred.
at your Predator.
Lord of Change fires at the Predator, and it lives.
Predator's got 2 wounds left.
And 6 attacks from the Rod of Sorcery. Hitting on 2s.
On 3s. None of them. Awesome.
And now we've got Putrid Vomit and a Plague Flail from the Great Unclean One.
Alrighty.
It is D6.
Bebop, the Great Unclean One, vomits on the Land Raider. Nothing.
Being there is what he's doing. And I have 6 Flamers in the back as well.
Flamer's using Draught of Terror for a command point. Steve responds with Armor of Contempt, and he's out. Ian's at 1, but still, down go 3 Death Company.
The Flamers overperformed in how many shots they did and underperformed in how many wounds they did. Let's get into some charges. I'm gonna do the Lord of Change charging your Predator that is left at 2 wounds.
I'm loving it.
He fails. Oh no.
You failed.
Just hurts my heart knowing that it's still
Did the
alive.
Nurglings have to do it?
You know the Nurglings are going in there.
But the Nurglings are in. Blood Crushers need an 8 into the Rhino. He fails. Command reroll. He fails again. Oh, even with the Blood Crusher +1 bonus, he still fails an 8-inch charge twice. Oh, I feel that in my bones.
It's the Spring of
the
Steve,
spring
everybody.
The Spring of Steve.
Plague Bearers into the Death Company, and they failed too. Oh no.
I believe in Steve. I believe in Steve.
Everybody out there in YouTube land, you know that they microwave their dice over here. These things are heavily magnetized.
Oh my gosh, this is nuts.
I'm getting no charges this turn, but I still have hope. The Nurglings.
Well, it looks like it's up to the Nurglings. Can they kill a Predator?
Come on, 6s for lethals. Okay, got 2. Give me more 6s.
Oh yeah.
It takes it down to 1 wound. The sassy Nurgling is the sassiest he's ever been. Ian discards area denial for a command point. He scores behind enemy lines for 5, jumps up to an 18-3 lead, and sits at 1 command point to Steve's 0.
At the end of my turn, I'm still feeling a little disappointed. That many failed charges is not what I'm used to coming out of this awesome Demons list.
All right, bottom of turn 2. So we each gain a command point. You go up to 2, I go up to 1.
Start of Steve's turn 2, he's Oath of Moment on the Flamers, has drawn Tempting Target and no prisoners. Up to 8 points to Ian's 18.
My secondary draws were okay. I really got to stretch for a couple of them, and I got to make sure that I actually kill some units. I'm going to get out of the Rhino with a squad of Tactical Marines.
TAC Marines disembark from the Rhino towards the Flamers. Interesting choice. Second squad does the same. Looks like he's trying to eliminate them now. I think Ian is waiting to overwatch the Death Company.
The Rhino is going to go right there.
Vanguard vets making a play towards the Lord of Change. No deep strikes coming in here. I think this could be a mistake. You can't kill anything if you're off the board, and Terminators with a Librarian going toe-to-toe into a Demon with Red Rampage? I really hope this doesn't bite Steve in the butt.
Great. Shooting phase.
Land Raider fires into the Flamers. Hunter Killer Missile goes to the Lord of Change.
Alrighty, so let's just do the Hunter Killer Missile into the
Let's
Lord
do
of
it.
Change right now. Hitting on 2s. 3s. It's a wound.
I got a 4-up invulnerable save.
Yeah, you're good.
The Flamers go down. That is 2 for no prisoners for Steve.
The loss of the Flamers is pretty brutal. Steve played it really smart. He didn't move his Death Company at all. He knew that was what I was trying to flame. He didn't give me any options. It was a smart play.
Predator is going to shoot its Hunter Killer Missile into the Lord of Change.
Okay.
And then all of its other weapons into the Nurglings.
Sounds good.
So the Hunter Killer Missile, it's -1 to hit. So on 3s?
On 3s.
Nope. There's
It might,
4s.
it might actually be for winners right now.
Whoa!
All right.
Wooden on 2s.
On 2s.
Only 1 Nurgling goes down to the Pred.
So the charge phase. The Death Company with Astrath are going to charge into your Plague Bearers.
Sounds good.
Needing the Berserk Fury reroll, they are in.
Oh yeah. Kaboom, baby!
Vanguard vets charge just the Nurglings. Interesting choice.
The hope here is that I maybe kill the Nurglings and then consolidate back to the objective, right?
Right. And I will heroically.
Yeah, that checks out.
Ian using heroic intervention to charge the Vanguard vets. He's going to be able to pile into both of those units. Rhino charges the Blood Crushers. Tactical Marines also reach the Blood Crushers.
You've got no interrupt money, so I'm just gonna kind of go from one side of the table all the way to the other end.
The Rhino does nothing in the fight phase. Tactical Marines also bounce.
The Vanguard veterans.
Vanguard vets.
So 3 of them onto the Nurglings and 2 of them onto the Lord of Change.
Vanguard vets into the Nurglings and the Lord of Change. Only 1 dead Nurgling squad.
You've got a Nurgling and 1 wound on another Nurgling.
Okay. So 5 chainswords, so 25 attacks.
Oh, Death Company are chopping down those Plague Bears. Can you imagine the gore and viscera that chainswords and thunderhammers would make? Yuck. I just spit on my mic.
But it's my turn to strike.
Yeah, you get to pick the first thing.
I'm going to strike with my most powerful unit. I really need these Nurglings to pay off for me right now. I need this Predator off the table, and I'm not making enough kills. I have to do some damage. On 6s.
Please no. Oh, no!
Oh, yeah.
No, come
Here
on.
we go.
That's right. Sassy Nurgling is extra double sassy now. They've killed a Predator.
The true superheroes of my turn, the Nurglings. These guys brought down a predator. I can't believe it.
Wow. This interview is over.
Lord of Change kills 2 Vanguard vets. Plague Bearers manage to down a Death Company Marine. Blood Crusher's now, and Steve using Armor of Contempt on the Tactical Marine, but still loses 3. He's out of command points. Ian's done 6 damage to the Rhino, but he's locked in combat now.
At the end of turn 2, Steve's got great board state. I'm really hoping that I can clamber back and get to where I need to go. I am holding all the primaries, so hopefully that'll take me to the end.
That was a big turn overall. Steve discards Tempting Target for a command point, scores 2 points on no prisoners as he only managed a single kill, and we sit at 18 to 10. Steve's got a command point in hand.
I go up to 2 command points, you go up to 1 command point.
With Secure No Man's Land and Cleanse, this could be a big turn for him.
My draw here is fantastic. Cleanse can be easily done by those Nurglings, and Secure No Man's Land, I don't have to. I've already got it. The shadow of chaos is upon him.
All the Nurglings have failed Battle Shock. The heroes are the villains, and they fail. Looks like he's gonna fire his Nurglings. Battle Shock succeeds in the Plague Bearers because they're in the shadow of chaos. 3 of them come back to life. Ooh, yeah. Ian scores 15 big points on primary, taking him up to 33.
So on to my movement phase.
That movement phase.
My plan is to keep my board presence in the middle really strong while tying up some of his units in his deployment zone. I'm hoping that the Great Unclean One can take down a Land Raider. The Lord of Change isn't going to go anywhere. He's just going to stay there. This guy, however, is going to go and see if Astorath wants a hug.
Astorath hates hugs.
Steve has rapid ingress his Terminators in behind the Lord of Change. Because the Lord of Change locked in combat, he cannot overwatch those Terminators, and this should make their charge next turn extra easy.
And then they are gonna rip that chicken from the sky.
Lord of Change is going to shoot the Bolt of Zeech at your Land Raider.
Checks out.
And then his Rod of Sorcery at the guys he's in combat with. Of Sorcery at the guys in combat first. Hitting on 2s, nope, hitting on 3s.
3s,
because I am in combat.
Yep.
And then on 3s again. It's a bit weird, but yeah.
But yeah, I failed 2. So the furthest guy away just dies. Bleh.
Lord of Change opens up into the Land Raider, only 1 wound. Oh, his hazardous test has failed.
He takes 3 from the hazardous.
Down to 15 wounds.
Bebop, the greatest unclean one, manages a couple more wounds.
Did some damage, plinked away, a little plinking away.
He did some damage.
But the charge phase.
Charge phase now, the great unclean one rumbles on in.
Nurgle Slug, the Beast of Nurgle, charging Astorath. And he is in with an 8.
Beast of Nurgle goes in too, and here comes the Sanguinar. By God, it's the Sanguinar with a steel chair.
I got fights first.
I know you did.
The Sanguinar!
Yeah.
So I get 8 attacks, but he doesn't pretend like he charged all of them into the Plague Bearers.
Sanguinar piles in, kills 5 Plague Bearers. What? I'm coming out of nowhere and I'm killing all your dudes because I fight first. Oh, that is so good. I freaking love that guy.
Let's go with Bebop, the Great Unclean One. He's got 6 attacks, lethal hits.
Great Unclean One into the Land Raider. Steve responds with Armor of Contempt, and the Land Raider shrugs everything.
Make them all.
Beast of Nurgle on your company.
Beast of Nurgle does some damage. No fight on death, though, for Steve with his Death Company. That's rough.
I'm gonna go with the Plague Bearers. Clockspringer, the Herald, gets 1 lethal. Oh, and that's a hit. 2 wounds.
5 ups. Fail
Damage,
1.
damage 2.
Damage 2, sounds good. 6 up, feeling no pains. Yep, 1 guy dies. My turn.
You're up.
Tactical Marines.
4 ups on the Blood Crushers, 1 wound goes through. And then I will do the Blood Crushers back at you. I'm gonna have...
Tac Marines are dead, and the Skullmaster whiffs into the Rhino.
The Rhino, all the way in.
Looks like the Rhino has run over a Blood Crusher's toe.
The Lord of Change on your 2 Vanguard Vets, is that what they are?
They are Vanguard Vets. Yeah.
Alrighty.
The Vanguard Vets have survived.
Astorath plus his buddies are all gonna go into the unit of Plague Bearers.
Okay.
On 4s. Chainswords. These are on 5.
Yeah, you don't get your strength bonus, which is nice.
So 2 AP 1s.
2 1s. This would be 5 up. Hey.
Make them both. Astorath. On 2s.
5 ups. You
I killed 2.
Ian has discarded Cleanse, but he secured No Man's Land. He's got 13 secondary, 25 primary to be at 38 points to Steve's 10. That said, this is going to be a big turn for Steve. Can he turn it around?
So we each gain a command point. So you go to 3, I go to 1. Draw some cards. I got Extend Battle Lines and Defend Strongholds.
Lord of Change gets Oath of Moment. Can he down it? I'm pretty sure those Terminators have the capability. He's passed all of his battle shocks. Nicely done. 5 points on primary takes him up to 15. Lots of fallback moves from Steve. He's trying to steal away all those sticky objectives from Ian. The Sanguinor, Death Company, Vanguard Vets, and Rhino have all fallen back. He's really banking on the Terminators to kill that Lord of Change.
I go to the end of my movement phase, and I'm able to take away these sticky objectives from you.
They are gone.
Tactical Marines fire into the Blood Crushers.
So on 3s, on 5s.
4 up. Why? Why at this point?
The Multi-Melta shoots the Great Unclean One. All the other weapons go into the little guy.
Let's do it.
Multi-Melta into the big guy. Hitting on 5s.
Hitting on 5s.
I get neither. Stormbolter into the little guy.
The Land Raider has killed the Poxbringer.
All the Stormbolters will shoot at the Nurgling, and then the Heavy Flamer will go into the big guy. Heavy Flamer into the big guy. I'm pretty sure. Nothing. And then into the little guy.
Terminators now. Down go the Nurgling.
So D6 shots.
The Librarian has failed to move the Lord of Change and fails his hazardous check. He takes 3 wounds. Oh, SpaghettiOs!
Good, I got a charge to do is what I got to do.
You got 1 charge, yep.
Only 1 charge to speak of, and it's into the Lord of Change. Can Steve take it down?
Yeah, I did. Got a 7.
Steve spends his command point on Red Rampage. Ian responds with Demonic Invulnerability. He's going to get to reroll 1s on his saving throws. He still sits at 2 command points. Steve is at 0. The sustained hits for the Librarian here could be huge.
4s. Whoa, baby.
On 4 ups, and I reroll 1s.
Hey, okay.
Okay.
So far, so good, but the Lord of Change is still up.
All right, so now for the rest of the weapons. And the power weapon off the regular dude. Hitting on 2s.
You need the 6s, yep.
I got 1 5s.
Okay. On a 4 up.
You're
I'm good.
All right, it all comes down to this Psyker.
2's a Librarian, sustains on 6s and lethals.
And we're gonna just re-roll.
Yep,
Digging
this
for
is
it.
gonna be the guy.
Oh, he's the guy. 5 saves, and they're D3 damage apiece.
I know. On 4 ups.
Oh, 2 of them.
I reroll that. Oh, no. This could be it.
Down to the Librarian, and he takes down the Lord of Change. Wow. That was literally the last possible roll to take him down.
Bebop, the Great Unclean One on the Land Raider.
Oh no, the Great Unclean One has taken the Land Raider down to 2 wounds. This is good for Steve and horrible. His Land Raider's on 2 wounds, but he's killed the Lord of Change.
Bebop, the Great Unclean One, has finally done some significant damage to the Land Raider. If he can finish it off by the end of next turn, he's free to roam the table and start hammering other units.
Steve's going to discard Defense Stronghold for a command point because it looks like Ian's already all over it. He's extended battle lines for 5, gives him 10 secondary, 10 primary to jump to 20. Both players sit at a command point as Ian again picked up his pink horrors with Realm of Chaos. Ian's drawn Assassinate and Bring It Down. He's got to kill the Land Raider and one of Steve's characters.
A Land Raider with 2 wounds and a Rhino on 2 wounds. Those seem like the easy targets. Assassination on the Sanguinor, maybe not so easy. I'd have to get lucky, but I'm hoping for it.
Only 5 points on primary for Ian, but he's already at 30 by turn 4 here. I think turn 4 is going to be the make or break, folks. Let's see how it shakes out.
Okay, so start of my movement.
Blood Crusher's repositioning a bit.
Advance the Beast of Nurgle.
Okay.
Beast of Nurgle runs into the midboard. The Horrors have dropped just outside 6 inches of the Death Company thanks to the Shadow of Chaos.
Let's start with the shooting face.
Great Unclean One targets both the Land Raider and the Sanguinor. Steve responds with Armor of Contempt on the Sanguinor.
Putrid Vomit, d6 plus 3 for 5.
3 up saves. I make them all.
The Plague Flail, d6 plus 1 for 4. It is strength 7, hitting on 3s. Nope, it would be hitting on 4s because he's in combat. Oh, one more. This could be it.
4.
Great Unclean One kills the Land Raider and it explodes. Oh no, that is not good. Down goes a Blood Crusher. That is no bueno.
Bring It Down is looking already a little bit more attainable. I'm going to shoot the Pink Horrors here. Everybody's going in there.
Horrors fire into the Death Company now and kill 2.
Let's do the Great Unclean One charging the Sanguinor.
Yep.
The Great Unclean One, Bebop the Blessed, charges the Sanguinor. Blood Crushers make a multi-charge, looking to kill with mortals on the charge, and down goes a Marine. Because of the Blood Crusher rule, the Rhino has to take a Battle Shock check, and he fails. That's huge. Horrors charge the Death Company here, and they're in. If they live, they're going to steal that objective and split into blues and drown that objective in bodies. Steve is never getting out of there.
I get plus 1. That's a 10.
I just go first. Yep. Here we go. 5s.
On 5s.
Sanguinor bounces off the Great Unclean One. Steve, Armor of Contempt to try to save him, and the Sanguinor lives.
I pass them all.
I don't like that phrase. You've said that phrase
I pass them all.
a couple too many times. The Blood Crushers, 2 of them on the Rhino. They have Lance with their horns, and
bet
it's
they
also
do.
and it's also devastating because they made a charge.
The Rhino has lived, and the Tactical Marines have held.
The Pink Horrors are piling into the Death Company and Astrath the Grim.
Horrors now looking to down the Death Company, and they cannot do so.
Good to go. Sanguinor's already done what he needs to do.
Death Company fight back. The Horrors split. There's more of them. How is there more of them?
Power sword off of this guy. Here we go. Come on, baby. 2 hits. Oh, I'm failing.
1 goes through.
Ian's kept Assassinate, but 5 points on Bring It Down for killing that Land Raider has put him up to 48 to Steve's 20. Steve's got a lot of work to get back in this game, but those Terminators are no joke. Can he get them in?
And then I got Deploy, Teleport Homer, and Overwhelming Force.
The Rhino has failed Battle Shock, and because he's in the Shadow of Chaos, he takes mortal wounds, and that claims the Rhino. Shadow of Chaos also claims a Death Company Marine.
Vanguard vets fail as well.
Oh man, the Shadow for 1.
Oath of Moment on the Great Unclean One. That is a funny looking Horus. Tactical Marines have taken back Steve's home objective, removing it from the Shadow of Chaos.
My tactical squad here is going to fall back. Those Terminators are getting onto that center objective. I'm going to score big. One last slap in the face to the Chaos Gods, and it's going to feel great. Actually, 6.
All right,
Get them going.
they're in there.
Shooting all the Terminators into the Blood Crushers.
Can Steve kill all of the Blood Crushers off his home objective in his shooting phase?
On a 4-up, it goes through.
It's D3. You take 1.
1. Blood Crusher down to 2 wounds.
Charges.
Terminators charge into Bebop the Unclean, and they are in. Here we go again. Red Rampage versus Demonic Invulnerability. Ian to 2 command points. Steve's at 0.
It's wicked as long as you're rolling 6s, which I'm not. At me. Come on.
On 4s.
Oh, Bebop's down to 14 wounds.
1 more 1 damage hit.
On 4-up, he's good.
And the big man digging.
Librarian now, only 1 wound. Oh no!
He's down to 13.
2 command points from Ian to counter-offensive and interrupt the Sanguinor.
On 6s are lethal, and then on 2s.
I fail 1.
For 2 damage.
Not 5 remaining.
Worth it. Not worth it. I was hoping if I can kill him, I can clear up this assassination.
It's not happening.
Nope, not today.
It's a Sanguinor.
2 4-ups on my invulnerable. 1 goes through.
So you take 4 in total.
Take 4 in total on my 4-up, feel no pain. 1 goes through.
Yeah.
Great, unclean 1 down to 12.
Wow, and a turn 4, and it is anybody's game. Ian's got Assassinate in his pocket for 5 points, but he's out of command points, and he doesn't need to pick anything up because he's tied Steve up everywhere. Steve discards Overwhelming Force and Deploy Homers. He's got 25 to Ian's 48, but he does have the advantage of scoring on the bottom of turn 5. This is going to come down to the end of the turn.
Alrighty, here we go. Turn 5, man. This is it.
We're down to the nitty gritty
Down
here,
to the
hey?
nitty gritty stuff. This is the last turn.
It's
so
not going to be a big turn for me.
not gonna be a big. We don't have. Each of us don't have tons of models left.
Right.
So.
Let's draw. I already have assassination. I'm hoping I can assassinate your Sanguinor.
That's the hope.
I tried to last turn, didn't work. Investigate
Investigate
signals.
Ian spends his command point on new orders, redrawing Investigate Signals into Tempting Target.
Tempting target.
That one way over there.
Yeah.
10 points on primary takes him to 40 primary and 58 points on the game.
These guys are doing something pretty easy. Just a light jog.
Yeah.
Right about.
Looks like most of Ian's movement is just trying to rearrange and stop Steve from scoring.
It's just shooting.
It's just shooting.
So let's do the great unclean one. It's gonna go all into the Sanguinor.
Shooting phase now, Steve spends a command point on Armor of Contempt, trying to save the Sanguinor.
D6 plus 3. Putrid Vomit is strength 5.
On 3s. I fail 3 of them.
And the Plague Flail is D6 plus 1 for 5. He hits once. He does not wound.
Not do it. Sanguinor lives.
And that concludes the shooting phase.
Sounds good.
Nice and simple. Blood Crusher's on the charge.
On the charge.
They're in there.
It's charge time, Blood Crushers into the Tack Marines, Brass Stampede to do mortal wounds on the charge, 5 mortals, wow.
And the Beast of Nurgle is charging the Sanguinor. He can't mess that up.
No.
Beast of Nurgle makes his charge.
Yep, Sanguinor goes first. Sanguinor slams everything into the Great Unclean One. On 2s, re-rolling. All of them. 6 is devastating.
Whoa! Come on!
Whoa, baby, that is the stuff. Nothing says sticking it to chaos like sticking it through some greater demons. You take 2 saves and you
They're both good?
both good, and then you take 10 devastating wounds.
Oh my goodness! 4-ups on the Great Unclean One. A lot of them are going through.
Oh boy.
That drops the Great Unclean One to 7 wounds.
Awesome.
The Slug?
Wait, on 4?
Yeah, it's only on 4s.
The Beast of Nurgle now does 4 dev wounds, and that kills the Sanguinor. Blood Crushers have wiped out those tactical Marines. Terminators now. Steve uses Red Rampage. He's out of command points, but can they down Bebop, the best unclean one?
Dig the entire way because, oh man. Oh, and then these are on 5s.
5 4-ups. This would be on my 4-up invulnerable save. Great Unclean One.
Fail 3.
I fail 3.
Take 6.
6 feel no pains of 4. 5 go through.
Oh my.
They cannot. 2 wounds left on him.
This librarian, if he succeeds in killing this Great Unclean One, will have personally killed 2 greater demons in one game. I cannot think of a better victory lap.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
On 2, no, I'm digging. I gotta do it. Oh yeah. Whoa, God.
On 4-ups.
Hilarious. Oh, he makes them all. They're swinging. It is so close, but it is not gonna happen. The Great Unclean One lives with 2 wounds.
Ian sits at 63 points after scoring Assassinate, and I think they're totaling it up. Steve might be able to kill the Great Unclean One. In fact, I'm pretty sure he will. However, He'll score deploy homers for 5. He can get behind enemy lines for 3. That'll take him to 18 secondary, and the most he's going to be able to score on primary is another 10. That's going to take him to 43. That's going to end our game, folks, at 73-53 is going to be your final in favor of Ian and the Demon host.
With that, man, we'll shake hands.
What
Good
an
game,
awesome
dude.
game.
Yeah, it was a lot of
Just
fun.
wild.
What a fantastic game, gentlemen. Incredibly well played. Both fantastically gracious players. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Oh man, it's just so heartbreaking. But what is not heartbreaking is a great game played with a great friend. Ian and I had so much fun today playing against each other. A little bit of a reprise for Angels and Demons.
I always love coming to play these games. I can't wait to come back and bring Demons to the channel again.
Special thanks again to our sponsor for this episode, Baron of Dice. Make sure to check them out in the link at the description below. And a big thank you to you for watching. If you like what we do, please consider liking and sharing this video, or if you would, support us through YouTube membership or Patreon. You'll get exclusive releases like Angels and Demons, as well as behind-the-scenes interviews, early access to most of our shows, and access to our fantastic Discord, the most happening 40K community around. What a fantastic game, folks. That was a lot of fun to watch. On behalf of everyone here in the Play On Studios, it's JT the Voice saying, until the next time you see us in the far-flung future of a grimdark universe, play on!